Hi, and thanks for logging on to the daily DVAR HALACHA. And here's a brand new HALACHA for you, and it's for Wednesday, 12th day of August, 22nd day of Av. You know, we've been dealing with packages and delivery vis-a-vis Shabbos, and we're going to do one more today, and it's this question. Let's say a package arrives for you on Shabbos. You didn't order it for Shabbos. We've discussed that in our last 2 days. It just arrives, okay? Maybe it wasn't even expected to be on Shabbos. It's a food package. It's kosher, and it arrived on Shabbos, was delivered to you by a non-Jew. Can you eat that food on Shabbos? Just in case you're going to tune out, it's going to get a little complicated. I just want you to know in advance, spoiler alert, that no, you're not going to be allowed to eat it. But I want you to know the background information, so I'm going to take you there, and here we go. First of all, there's some twists here. We're going to go to the Shulchan Aruch first. And the Shulchan Aruch says, I'm going to read it backwards here, you'll see why. V'imhuva bishvilo michutz latchum. This is talking about a letter arriving. If a letter arrived for you and it came from possibly 2,000 amos, that's about 4,000 feet, whatever, outside of your city, which means that it's outside of the Tchum. You're not allowed to walk that far on Shabbos for a Jew, and it arrived from that far out, so it was done for you. Tov li zaher shelo yigaba. It's better that you be careful to not even touch the thing. The Shulchan Aruch here is saying that it is muktzah because it could have arrived from outside of the Tchum, which means from more than 4,000 feet outside of your inhabited area of your city. And then the Shulchan Aruch, I'm going a little backwards here, he says, but to read that letter, if you don't know what's inside of it, if somehow it's lying in front of you open, I don't know, like maybe the non-Jew opened it, it's mutter for you to read it. You can read it. Not out loud with your mouth, but just like look at it if it's information that you have to know. So in summary here, the Shulchan Aruch has said that something that arrives from possibly outside of the tchum of your city is mukta, but if it's a letter, you can read it. Now, in an interesting twist here, the Mishnah Berurah concludes exactly the opposite. Here's what he says, and we're going to have to rule like that. The Mishnah Berurah says, "V'achronim hiskimu de'ein bazeh mishum muktzah." Our achronim agree that this is not muktzah at all, as we say in other areas of the Shulchan Aruch. The davar haba michutz latchum ein ba iser muktzah. It has no iser of muktzah. Why? Even if it's brought for you, because he says it is fitting that it wasn't brought for your neighbor, the Jew, so it has some potential use for another Jew. It's just that you can't use it. So muktzah status it does not get. That package that arrived is not muktzah, says the Mishnah Berurah. However, I'm going to go down here and tell you how he concludes again the opposite of the Shulchan Aruch. If let's say that letter arrived and it's sealed, Omer Yehudi, then Omer Eina Yehudi, he says to the non-Jew, Eini Yachal Likroso, I'm not allowed to read it. Kolzman Sheina Pasuch, that's in a case like where the letter's sealed. You tell the non-Jew what is true, I'm not allowed to read it. And naturally the non-Jew will understand, and he will open it, and maybe he'll read it for you, but you're not allowed to read it. By the way, he says here, you're also not allowed to tell directly the non-Jew to open it for you, unless there's a tremendously great need. Okay, so what are we seeing here from this Mishnah Berurah? The Mishnah Berurah concludes up here that this package is not muktzah, even if it's possibly brought from outside of the chum for you, because it wasn't brought for from outside of the chum for your Jewish neighbor. Jews have use for this package, so muktzah it isn't. But you're not allowed to be involved with it, and he explains further in the DVAR HALACHA, because it's Maseh Shabbos. It's somebody did work on this thing on Shabbos, and when somebody does work on this thing on Shabbos, even if it's a non-Jew, then that becomes not permissible to you. Okay, this is crucial here, that you're not allowed to read it. And the reason you're not allowed to read it, he explains more in the DVAR HALACHA, because it's Maseh Shabbos. Work was done on this thing to drive it to your house on Shabbos, and therefore it's not permitted to you. I know that was a little complicated, so I'm going to sum up in simplicity here again, just in case I lost you on a turn there. The Mishnah Berurah concluded that this package, you're not allowed to benefit from it. And that's because it was Masa Shabbos. Work was done on it on Shabbos. So in conclusion, that food package that arrives at your door on Shabbos, you may not eat it on Shabbos because work was done to deliver it to you. Interestingly, you might even not be allowed to eat it like 2 seconds after Shabbos because you'll have to wait for a period of time called B'chdei Sheyasa, as long as it took to deliver to you. So you might have to wait like, I don't know, an hour or two after Shabbos before you consume that food, because even after Shabbos, you're not allowed to benefit from Maaseh Shabbos, work done on Shabbos. So in conclusion, again, I'm just repeating last time because I know it was a drop complicated. Food package arrives for you on Shabbos. You may not eat it on Shabbos. Can you eat it 2 seconds after Shabbos? Not even then. You're going to have to wait a bit, like maybe an hour or two, before you could consume that food delivered to you on Shabbos. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.